I think with an iPhone app, it's any whim can be catered to. So you're on a train, you're at a bus stop, you're thinking about writing, and you can just start scrolling through. So I think you're interested in, maybe you've read Stephen Amsterdam, you see who he's published by, you spiral on from that. So I think it'll be a very, very easy way to reach more people.
Yeah, I think the mention of the train is a good one because the iPhone app really allows you to access sleepers anywhere. That's the beauty of the iPhone. That's the seductiveness of it. You can have fiction wherever you go. It's in your pocket.
I think it's going to be a really great sort of waterfall effect. I think it'll be fabulous. Hi, I'm Jane Ormond and I was published by Sleepers a couple of years ago.
And I'm Mulready and I've been published by Sleepers a couple of times, last year, the year before. My favourite writers are probably Michael Ondaatje, for his ability to just be so poetic but keep you reading through page after page with very little narrative. And Louis Armstrong for his ability to just, stir things up and be wild.
I think the writers that I respect the most would probably be Douglas Coupland, even though I do think he's patchy. I think when he's great, he is incredibly great and has written some of the books that have really resonated with me the most. Martin Amis and probably the director John Waters for just some of the greatest dialogue ever. Do you think you were born out of time?
I think that I belong in many times. Algonquin Round Table would definitely be one of my favourite times to be born, with Jane Ormond, Dorothy Parker here, by my side preferably.
I'd like to drag the Rose Mulready into Andy Warhol's factory. I reckon that would be a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of tops off.
I'll come quietly. I think inevitably biography seeps in, but I really write to get away from myself and to transport myself, so I'm not really interested in autobiography per se. That's why I like to write male characters a lot.
I don't use autobiography very much at all, except for geographically I'll use it. Like maybe there'll be places that I know very well that I'll use, but as for my own life, it's not as interesting as what I write.
A lot of writers, and certainly I, often forget how wonderful it is when you are hooked into your, writing mojo, and how the world around you just starts feeding you stories and turning into this magic kind of wonderland that all of the fiction comes out of.
I think it's easy at the start when you are just in that, when you've got your writing mojo going and you're in that mode where your head's completely immersed in it and characters are springing out, and it's almost like that kamikaze sort of effect of, well, let's see what happens, let's poke that character with a stick and see what they say. And I think it's hard in the redraft where you really have to be disciplined about, there might be some great scenes that you've written that just don't fit. Or you may be convinced that the story flows one way and then you realise it doesn't. So I think the redraft is hard, but the initial is easy and mind-blowingly pleasurable. That's what I feel about Hal Hartley's writing, that it is a real chrome arrow just heading to the conclusion. It starts off, it's just shiny and beautiful and directed and economic and efficient, and it's really spectacular writing.
You can complete a story and wrap it up in a couple of hours, and it's not the hard slog of a novel. It has a succinctness, it forces you to brevity, and people can read it quickly too.
I like how it's just a little yank out of real life, and all of a sudden you're just kind of dropped into an alternate world for a little sort of flash of a moment and have a really quite a sort of jangling experience.
Yeah, if I could be doing anything every day, it would be wallowing in pleasure.
If I could do anything every day, I'd be writing and having Jeff Buckley bring me coffee all day, every day.
I think that's possibly the same answer.